Hi, this is Justin from Ajar Productions. In this video, I want to show you how to add a page flip sound to your flipbooks. This is something that people ask about every once in a while. It's not built into in5, but one of the great things about creating content with in5 is that it's customizable, easy to expand, and make it your own. So I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. Let's take a look at what the final product does. So here's our flipbook. I've got the arrow navigation. And I'm going to flip the pages and not talk so you can actually hear the sound. Alright, so we have a page flip sound every time the page turns, regardless of how I navigate, if I do it from the curl, or if I use the arrow navigation. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is get a page turn sound, and easiest way to do that, I found this sound here and I'll show you how I got there. I'm just going to click back in my browser and I basically just did a Google search for royalty-free sound effects and I scrolled past all these things that say add until I came to the first option, free sound. That sounds good, that sounds like what I want. And so I went there and then inside of their search I searched for a page turn. Now it shows examples of the waveforms. So this is a visualization of the sound. And what I was looking for was something that didn't have a lot of empty space before the sound because I want the sound to trigger instantly so it sounds like it's synchronized with the turning of the page. So this one has way too much space at the beginning. There's ones that have multiple pages turning. You can see all these spikes in the waveform. So I just went down until I got to this one, page turn. Looks like a single turn and it happens right at the beginning of the waveform. So I can preview it. And that looks great. So I clicked on that one. And then from this page, you can log in and download it. Then once you've downloaded it, let's go into InDesign and I'll show you how to add it to your document. So here I've got a flipbook document. Something important to note, I'm using InDesign 2021. If you're using 2022, it'll say parent pages instead of master pages. There's no difference, it's just named differently, but you might want to pay attention to that. And what I've done here is I had a master page or a parent page already for all of these pages except the cover page. The cover page didn't have a master page because it has its own design that's unique from all of the other content pages. So then what I did was create a proto page. That's what I called it, a proto master, proto parent page. And this is basically an empty master page that then my A master page, my content page inherits from. So I have, if I go into the master options or parent options, if you're using a newer version, you can see that this one is based on my proto page. Okay, that's important for this first iteration, just if you want to try the basic version without the extra code customization that I'll show you. But I think you're going to see that that works a lot better, and I'm going to give you the code so you don't have to write it yourself, and you don't have to hire a web developer. First thing to do, let's place the sound on this proto page. So I'll go up to File and choose Place. And then I'll just grab my MP3 that I downloaded from that free sound site. And I've got the audio now placed on this page. And I'm going to go up to the in5 menu and to the audio widget. Now, for this first example, what I want to do is autoplay it. So this means it'll just play when the page turns. And I want it to play in the background and not pause any other media. So with both of those options that way, it means the audio is going to play uninterrupted, completely independent of any other audio that's in the document. And then I want to completely hide any controller display. So this is just a sound in the background. There's no visible play button or anything like that. Okay, so now that I've got these settings in place, I'm going to go ahead and export. So I'll go up to File and choose Save. I'll go to in5, and I'll just do the easy export wizard to start with. That'll save us some trouble. So I select Magazine, Flipbook, and Pixel Perfect Text, and just go ahead and export. And it takes a little while to finish because by default, that setting optimizes the images. And when it's done, I'll click Open in Default Browser. And I'm going to click the Next button, and then we'll just listen to hear when the page turn sound plays. So you hear that? It's kind of in the right spot, but it's a little delayed. Yeah, so it's not quite right. Let's fix that by adding a little bit of custom code. So I'm going to switch back to InDesign. And now I'm going to make sure I have my audio selected. And I'm going to turn off the autoplay. So it's not going to play by itself. I noticed one thing in this document is that I had this out of place. Let me fix that for us so that looks right. Okay, so we've got our audio that's not going to autoplay. And let me go back to that proto page. Just select that audio. Now we need a way to target this audio object with code. So my first inclination was to go to the object styles. And lo and behold, I found I cannot apply any object styles to audio. That's a bit of a bummer, but we can find another way to target it. So let's right click on this and go to the object export settings. And under the alt text, I'm going to change it to custom. And I'll call it page-flip-sound. Now, I recommend you call it this exact same thing, otherwise you're going to have to customize the code. Page-flip-sound. No spaces, and I'll click done. And then let me show you the custom code. Now, again, I will provide a link to this in our solutions article, so you don't have to write any of this yourself. You don't have to understand it. You can simply attach the file, and there's no more thought required. But just in case you do want to kind of understand how this works, I'm going to walk through it. I'll just spend about 30 seconds doing it. So these wrapper lines, they encapsulate this so that this code doesn't get called until the document's ready, so that it can actually access items inside the document. We initiate an ID for the page flip sound, and we'll use that momentarily, but we just need to initiate that variable. And then we're going to access the slider object, the object with an ID of slider, which wraps our pages inside the export document. And then we're going to listen for the turning event. And when that happens, we're going to make sure that the page flip ID is set. If it's not, we're going to grab, based on that alt text that I just set, page-flip-sound. And then inside of that, we're looking for the audio object, and we're going to grab an attribute on it called data-id. And then all we need to do is send that to the play media function. And then it'll use all of these settings from our in5 audio interactive widget to play that media when a page is turned. Now that we got the basis for that, we've got this set up, we've got our code ready, I'm going to go ahead and save this document again. And I'm going to go up to export, and this time instead of the easy export wizard, I'm going to go into the full export dialog. Now inside of here, let's first go to the resources and let's add that JavaScript file. So if you have it, if you've copied it from on screen, you can click paste and paste it in. But I'm just going to browse for the file and grab that existing file. So let me go up to the right level, grab that JavaScript file, and now it's going to be attached to the document when we export. I'm going to make a couple more changes. For example, in this size, I don't really like how the social media stuff is sitting on top of the arrow, so let's get rid of that. And just do that by unchecking those 3 items. And then in advanced, since I'm still in the testing process, I'm going to turn off the image optimization, and that will make the export process a lot faster. I can then turn this back on when I'm done. For right now, let's just export and see how it works. All right, so I'm going to open the document in the browser, and now I will click through the pages, and we'll just listen and hear how the page flip is now synchronized with the page turns. There you have it. Now you can add a page turning sound to your flipbooks with in5. Thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, if you found it helpful, subscribe to our channel to see more like this, and I hope to see you in another video soon.